Continuing on, it is suggested, with the evidence we have and in your textbook, that Homo habilis had increasing dietary versatility, including eating roots, tuberous plants, small animals, and even scavenging. Scavenging is a common kind of conception or hypothesis among scholars when looking into Homo habilis. So Homo habilis is likely a scavenger as well, likely very opportunistic with their foods. So to review, Homo habilis had a short, primitive gait, a varied diet, scavenging small animals, or scavenging, eating small animals, and various plant foods. Due to this and the use of stone tools, it was able to exploit more environmental variation and survive that change in climate. It had a larger brain from 550 to 750 cc's, so we're seeing the beginning of more brain size increases, and we're going to see that trend continue over the course of the longevity or early emergence of the genus Homo. We will see that during this time, glacial advances and retreats were becoming more intense, and warm season grasses were spreading. So here we are looking at the Cenozoic again, but a different view. Up at the top, you can see those epochs, the Paleocene, Eocene, Oligocene, Miocene, Pliocene. So we're up here in the Pliocene, and we can see how hominins are emerging, and at the end of this whole temperature time scale, we're seeing these drops, and also these bigger, taller lines representing like glaciations and warming and cooling periods. So we're seeing some severe changes. The dashes, the lines that going up and down, these blue lines, are becoming more intense, and that's what we mentioned earlier in the lesson. So just to review Homo habilis again, here's a little kind of graphic here to help you. So Homo habilis was the first hominin to have anatomical and behavioral characteristics that foreshadowed the evolution of Homo sapiens. So we're seeing more human-like characteristics like greater intelligence, reliance on tools, and dietary and behavioral flexibility. So these sites are all African sites. The years are 2.5 to 1.8 million years ago. Although I did say earlier in the lesson, some argue up to 3 million years ago. If you say that in an assignment, I would not count you wrong for that. And then some other features here. So smaller face and smaller jaws, increased brain size, more general diets, and no significant change in locomotion or arm length to leg length ratio. Okay, moving on. The rest of the lesson will largely focus on Homo erectus, who was a big species that did big things. This species was the first to do a couple of different things and very important in our human evolution. So Homo erectus lived for a long time, 1.8 million years ago to 300,000 years ago. All right, so one of the first things that Homo erectus did in its early evolution was leave Africa. So this is one of the first early hominins that with the evidence we have now that we know, left Africa and moved on through Europe and Asia, even making it into Indonesia. Homo erectus lived, again, 1.8 to 300,000 years ago in Africa, Asia, and Europe. Some general features of Homo erectus was that it had a larger brain, smaller back teeth, a low, long, thick skull with small chewing muscles and a large brow ridge, longer legs, increased body size, and increased tool use. A sagittal keel appears on some Homo erectus specimens from Asia, Africa, and Europe. So we are comparing Homo erectus to what came before, like Australopithecus and Homo habilis. So when we compare to previous species, that's when we're seeing the larger brain. That's when we're seeing the smaller back teeth, and the thick skull and large brow ridge, longer legs, and increased body size. So here are some pictures that show a little bit of a difference. With the Australopithecines, the robust ones, we're seeing this sagittal crest on the top of the head there, and a large molars and premolars. With Homo erectus, we're not seeing the sagittal crest, and we're seeing the smaller teeth. You can definitely see in this picture how the dentition is smaller.